You're about to listen to the award-winning Stuart Pedasso Show. This show is for biologically and emotionally mature audiences. If you should not be here, please go away. We'll still be here when you're mature enough to partake. Mwah!
Sorry, I hit record. I didn't know you were going to do that.
No,
right,
I just wanted to say those chocolate things you have in
no,
your
that's fine.
I
understand. I'm just saying I thought we were going to hit record and then you started talking. I was
yeah, whatever.
Okay, so hey everyone.
Hey!
Welcome to the Stuart If I'm not too lazy, I'll take that out. Welcome to the Stuart Pedasso Show. I'm Dave.
I'm Melissa, and I don't think you should take that out. I think it's funny when we...
All right, that's fine.
Once in a while we do silly
It shows people we're human.
Whatever. I think they know we're human.
Yeah.
Maybe they think we're a robot, but I can assure you, I am not a robot.
No, that we're what was the thing that
we're AI.
Extra special, or no? What was the thing we were just talking about? We're super special.
Super special.
Super special too.
Yeah, we are super special.
Oh boy. So I'm gonna get right to the now. I got housekeeping stuff and all that jazz. We'll do that later.
Okay.
So remember the story I told you when you first got here?
Yeah.
I said I couldn't talk about it on the show.
Right.
All right. So let me tell you the full thing without that part of the story.
Right.
So I had a weird day yesterday, and we're jumping right in. And again, if you're the first time you're listening to this podcast, the Stuart Pedasso Show, which happens, then just check out 2 podcasts ago over at stuartpedasso.com, and I explain how I lost my job because of this podcast. And so understanding that, I've been out of work for a little while. And yes, and it's been going very slow. I've been applying to many, many things and not hearing back a lot. And it's been...
And some of them not school related or...
Correct. Yeah. Not teaching. And but yesterday, I had 2 interviews for teaching jobs. 2. One was here on Zoom at home, and the other was in person somewhere else.
Did you wear pants?
When I was on Zoom?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, I did wear pants. Because, you got to feel it. I wasn't wearing a tux. Actually, it gets really warm up here in the studio. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know. I was like kind of, when I was done, I had to like air out. It was a little sweaty.
Right, I see what you're saying,
yeah. So, and they both went really well. Without saying, we're going to offer you a position, but some of the grammar they were using and like what the next steps were really sounded like they're going to call and offer a job. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So the second interview I had when I left, there was a voicemail on my phone from a different job that I interviewed like weeks ago and thought that they just didn't want me. Mm-hmm. They wanted me back for a second interview.
Oh, they might have been interviewing other people.
Just took a long time, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
and then I get home, and that night I get an email from another job, which actually I was very, very interested in, not teaching, but working with kids, saying that they wanted to interview.
Which is still teaching in general.
It's too boring to talk about on the show.
Right.
But I'll tell you about it off because it's a local thing that you'd be interested in hearing about.
Okay, cool.
Okay. But yeah, nobody's going to listen to this and wants to hear about that. So it's just all in one day. I had these 2 amazing interviews where they were that close to offering me a job, and then more interviews, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like, dang, that was like just waiting until then all at once. And so, and then that thing happened that I told you about before. And then about 2 hours ago, I got a phone call from the second interview I had yesterday, and they offered me a job, and I took it. I now have a job.
Yay! That was a thing you couldn't tell me you had to wait. Was that the exciting thing, or do you have another exciting thing?
Oh, no, I have no more. There's no more exciting things. No,
that's very exciting.
I will be back. And now, fool me once, right? Shame on me. I'm not going to go into any details about this job. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to. Trust me, there's always shit to bitch about. I don't need to talk about my job. I will talk about education.
We can bitch about education in general.
Absolutely.
Because we have plenty of things to complain about.
No question. But again, I think I'm pretty good. I think I've got all the places cleaned up where my full name I can't get officially traced to this. So that even if a student somehow finds out that there's a podcast, I won't be saying, hey, this school is blah, blah, blah. And,
We're just not going to do that anymore.
and I won't say the other story that I told you about. So, yeah. Okay, so this would be actually an interesting place for me to play music because I would say one more thing, but we don't do music anymore on the show. But if you want to hear music, you can go to stuartpodesta.com and listen to Stuart Podesta Radio because, man, being out of work the past, whatever it's been, I've been listening to Stuart Podesta Radio a lot, and I gotta admit, it's really good backgroundy kind of jam music while you're doing stuff. I highly suggest it. I recommend it.
Highly.
Yeah, highly, actually. And it's not even all music I would go and say, hey, I want to go listen to this artist or this song, but stuff okay, cool. Yeah.
Well, I told you that one time I went on, and of all things, it was a Steve Martin. It was a Steve Martin short bit. It was a Steve Martin.
Steve Martin.
No, it was Steve Martin. Yeah, it was just Steve Martin. I was like, yeah, like of all random things. I mean, I'm just saying, where else out there would you go onto the radio and see and listen to Steve Martin?
The only downside to it is that it's an internet-based thing. So if you're looking, it's not terrestrial, so to speak. So you're not going to get it on your car radio or wherever else you get terrestrial radio. But if you have an internet connection, you can totally listen to Stuart Podesta Radio 24/7. And we heard your complaints, and by complaints I mean not listening to the station whenever we had talk shows on, even though they were kick-ass. So it's all music and comedy now. Which
big fan.
By the way, here's a segue. Coming up with the holidays, Julia will be back in town, and I have a bit for us to do.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah,
good times.
I showed you the bit last week.
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Yep.
And now that I just realized it today, oh my God, Julia's coming home. So I should write some more. I'll get to my notes and maybe I'll write some more.
More bits.
Maybe we'll get her boyfriend to do something. I don't know if he'll do it. I don't know if...
Is he an actor type?
He's a performer. He does percussion.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I like percussion. What kind? Do you know what he plays?
I know he plays marimba. I know he plays... I think he plays kettle drum.
Oh, I love the kettle drum.
Dude, he was doing percussion for the Rochester Philharmonic Orchestra.
Dude,
before he left.
That's really pretty banging.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, literally.
He was banging shit, man.
He was banging shit for a living.
Yeah.
Which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was just banging my daughter for fun. Sorry. Come on, it was there.
I know.
Come on. Of course, they're having sex, I'm sure.
I'm like, duh. I mean, we're not stupid.
Well, I'm not having sex. So you can't say duh. It's not, you can't.
I'm sure they are. Because when you're that age, that's what you do all the time.
Yeah, hopefully. It doesn't even have to be all the time.
Yeah.
Even once in a while.
Yeah. Whenever you feel like it. She's going to love that we're talking about this. Not that she's going to hear it, but it's funny.
I don't think she'd care too much. Look at the bits we've had her do.
I know. My first vibrator.
Yeah, that was one that pops into my head because
it's so funny.
Well, not only because it's funny, because she didn't get it. She didn't get the punchline at first for a minute. And we both had to look at her for a second.
That's right. I remember that. That was
I don't
funny.
get it.
You're like, what?
It comes with batteries. So do I. And she didn't get the punchline. It was very cute.
That was adorable. Yeah. She's precious.
Good times. Different kind of delicious dish or whatever it was called. Where was I going? Oh, bits. Yeah, whatever. So,
well, your daughter's coming to town.
Yeah.
We're going to do bits.
Holidays
are happening.
Good times. I hope Oh, no. See, there we go. I knew this. So, if you're listening to the show when it's still fresh and warm and puffy or whatever new shows are, that means the holidays are coming right up. Whether you celebrate them or maybe you just celebrate Boxing Day or maybe whatever. Festivus, yeah. If you need a Festivus gift. And actually, we planned it this way. There are a few folks we're getting gift cards for because that's kind of a thing you do.
Honestly, for some people, if you just don't see them enough, if you know that, or,
my sister sent us a box of meat.
I don't know. I wouldn't be sad about that.
No, I'm not sad about it.
I mean,
I'm just,
I really wouldn't be sad about it.
No, it's
meat's expensive, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I went out.
It's probably good too.
No, I went outside and there was this huge styrofoam cooler on the steps, and I thought, oh my God, someone donated their kidneys.
Why is there a big?
And then I walked closer and I saw the label. I was like, oh my God, it's fucking meat from my sister. What the hell? So, which is cool. It's in the freezer now. We haven't had a.
What'd you get?
It was I'll say the company name. They're not. We're not like an affiliate of them, but it was Omaha Steaks.
I know, but what'd you get? Do you know what you got?
Oh yeah, some filet mignon thingies, and there's hamburgers and some what they call franks, hot dogs, and some other side things.
Sidey things.
Yeah,
things.
sidey things.
Little things. Little mixture. Mixture of meats.
Yeah, we got a styrofoam cooler out of it.
Yeah,
so when I do want to donate those kidneys, I got a cooler.
You do?
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
I know, you can't really, oh man, you can't recycle. I mean, you can reuse that styrofoam cooler, but you can't recycle it. Can you?
Okay, so this goes on a place by place. When I was talking the United States here, okay? In the United States, it goes pretty much county by county, not even state by state. So in our county, Monroe County here in New York State, you can take styrofoam to the county's eco park.
Oh, okay.
But, their hours are...
do?
That I don't know.
I know, and that's what I mean. I hate to be like that person, but I'm going to be that person.
No,
I really feel there's a good I mean, unless you're talking about electronics, which they probably do have to do specific things with, I think a lot of stuff, they just fucking throw it out.
No, they have done exposés on this. So cardboard and paper, there's a market for that. That goes over well. That gets recycled, and that's pretty cool. Metal and glass is not a problem too. Plastic is an issue. And the reason that's a problem is because we just say, hey, something's made of plastic. But there's so many different kinds and how it's made and what it's made of and the structure of it. Not all of it can be recycled, or it's recycled in different ways, or there's only so many times you can do it. In fact, Stuart just had a conversation with this dude on Instagram, of all places, and he recycles plastic himself at home. And actually, I've actually looked into this myself. There's these open source plans that you could create the machinery. I don't remember if we've talked about this on the show before, but if we have, we've taken the show down. So I'll talk about it again, like an old person repeating shit. That's what I do. And you can build these machines at home, or you can buy them off of other people that crushes the plastic in a certain way, and then you can heat it and mold it into some molds that you want to make things with. And because there's usually different colors, it's all kind of swirly and artistic.
You could make bowls with it though.
Bowls and stuff like that. My idea, if I were ever be able to do this, would be to create some kind of raised bed things for gardens.
Great idea.
So my question was, but I wasn't sure, because some plastics, like if you have some kind of plastics for like water bottles, the shitty chemicals will leach into the water. So I didn't know which kind of plastic would leach into the soil if you were going to use that. And so this dude who Stuart follows on Instagram, who he's like just starting out, he posted these little planter boxes that weren't very big, like maybe a 6 inches by a foot kind of thing, like not really huge, saying, hey, look, planter boxes that I made that I recycled with plastic, and they actually look cool. But my question was, yeah, man, I've been looking into this. Have you seen research on, does the chemicals leach into the soil? And he was like, this kind and this kind of plastic do not.
So you really have to use only specific ones.
Yeah, so you got to be...
Because we have like 1 through 7, and in this city, you could, with this county, you can do like through 6 or something.
But even with 7, that, it's the municipalities who take recycling in for plastic. You got to find a market for it, and so a lot of it just gets thrown away.
I know, and I just feel, and like I really do try my best to like clean out everything and make sure that it's in the proper state. Well, plus especially in the summertime, you don't want stinky stinky garbage. So, best to clean out stuff. And if it's something that I really just know it's going to take me forever to get this fucking thing clean and stuff, I honestly, sometimes I just throw shit away in the garbage, because I figure if it's going to take a bunch of water for me to clean it out, and then I put it in the recycling, and I don't even know if I got enough of the junk out to make it even recyclable, then what am I really doing? I don't know. I guess I have to weigh out all these different things.
Well, again, we're back to place by place. I think our municipality says it's nice if you clean it, but you don't have to. But yes, look, the chances are if it's plastic, it's going to end up in a landfill.
Yep.
But I would, now this is just me being the amateur that I am, I would still advise folks to do it anyway, because you never know what'll, even if a little of it doesn't make it to the landfill, it's better than nothing. And maybe at some point things will get better. They'll figure something out. I actually did the math on this. For me to do something like that, to make those things, I'd probably need about $12,000 to start it off with.
Which isn't
to get
bad,
it going.
but...
Yeah, but I don't have $12,000.
Yeah, no, I know. Nobody's got, I don't got $12,000 either. But...
And I'm already in debt with a million things, so it's not like I'm going to go, hey, honey, not you, honey, my wife, honey. Hey, honey, I want to take out a loan for $15,000.
So this idea I have, and I don't really know if it's going to work, but I think it's going to, so let's just try it out.
And she'll have 2 words for me. Sex badges, and I'll just have to shut up and slink away.
And you'll have to walk away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like thinking like people who have 3D printers and stuff must have, Magnus has a 3D printer, for example. I watched it in use once. It was kind of cool.
He didn't make a gun, did he?
No, he was making, was he making little skulls? I feel like he was making little skulls, maybe.
Not tentacles?
No.
He's all fucking tentacles.
I know. Yeah, he does like octopus, whatever. What are those called? Are those cephalopod?
Bruh, I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. The squid and octopus and all those. With tentacles. He likes those. He likes those animals. He's very fascinated by them. Well, they are kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want one in my house, but yeah.
I kind of would. Cephalopod. I think it's cephalopod.
Nope. As someone who, by the way, of course, and I'm sorry, I'm sort of a segue here, but this is Dick Off Studio. We are coming to you live from Dick Off Studio, and if you know the history of this place, or just me in general, of course we had a bat in the house the other day.
Oh my goodness!
It's fucking December, dudes. Of course we had a bat. I'm up here doing shit like I do. And I actually had headphones on, but I still heard scratching. And I'm like, did I not close the attic door well enough and the cat came up? And I'm thinking, man, and this is like 11 o'clock, 10:30, whatever. I'm like, man, I don't think so. So I'll describe it the best I can.
I'm sorry, where did you hear the noise?
So
you were here.
I'm in here.
You're here, right
this
where you're sitting.
Studio. Yep.
And where did you hear the noise coming from?
Out in the attic.
Out in the attic, somewhere in the attic.
The rest of the attic, yeah. So I'm thinking it's the cat trying to come in, or the cat got up and is playing around trying to get.
Doing something.
Yeah. So I'm like, but it could be a bat, because I've heard noises and it could be bat. I've heard noises before and it could be a bat. And see, now I'm losing my grammar because I'm talking about bats. It's already freaking me out. So, I'm like, all right. And I'm kind of semi-crouched at the door waiting to check this out. I'm already, my heart's just fucking...
There's a bat. I know there's a bat.
Yeah.
It's a fucking bat.
So, cause for those who don't know, again, because...
You're not a fan.
No, it's a phobia. I'm terrified of them.
Yeah. Dan's afraid of them too.
Yeah,
he's absolutely terrified about it.
So, I
am not. I find them absolutely fucking fascinating.
Open the door to the studio here, and to turn on the light to the rest of the attic, it's this cord string that attaches to a light, the pull down things. And I reach around the corner and no, it didn't. And I turn on the light, right? And so I still only have the door open maybe a foot and a half, just enough to look out. And as soon as the light turns on, like fucking the beginning of Scooby-Doo, this motherfucking bat comes up the stairs because it was trying to get out. It was scratching at the door, comes up the motherfucking stairs right at me.
Oh my God!
So I slammed the door.
Did you scream?
I yelled bat. Which makes sense because it was a bat. My wife was in bed already, and she was pretty much asleep. I wouldn't say totally zonked out, but pretty much asleep.
That woke her up.
No, well, she wasn't sure. She heard the door slam. That's what woke her up. And so
you're not really a slammy door kind of guy.
No.
What's going on?
I mean, this house is old. You can't sneak up on anybody in this house. Everything creaks and stuff like that. But if you're sleeping and you're a halfway decent sleeper, you're fine. But no, I slammed the door, not to wake anybody up, but like I'm scared. I'm about to shit my pants.
Reflex.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I yelled bat. Usually I just go, ah! I won't do it as loud. Sorry. Oh, man. Sorry to the volume. Usually I just make a noise. But no, this time I actually made a word, bat. And I get on the phone, and Eve's like, what? And I'm like, bat. There's a bat. Dude.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's funny. I'm telling the story because it's funny. So I scream like a little girl. I can't hit the high notes anymore, but I scream like a girl, and I hide, and I guess boys scream too, but I like a child, I'll say it that way. And I'll be ageist instead of sexist. So I'm screaming like a kid, or on the phone, I'm like, bat, there's bat. And she's like, okay, I'll call Jason. We have a bat guy. And this guy's got to be like so not annoyed with us because we paid him, I don't remember how much it was, to bat-proof the house.
Yeah, I remember about the bat.
And we keep having not like as many, but we always have one at the beginning of every winter. I'm sorry, can I have a beer, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. I know we got the smaller ones today. They're going to go down fast. I know.
This story is riveting.
Yeah, right. So we got this bat guy. He comes in, and the last time again, old show. Last winter, we had a bat in here again, and couldn't find it. And our bat guy was out of town, and Eve was blowing his fucking phone up. It turns out he was in California or something. Like,
I am so not in town now.
Yeah, well, but we didn't find out till days later. He didn't get back to us, and so we found somebody else who came in the next day, and I had to go through the house with no knowledge of where this fucking thing was, and this dude shows up with his kid, and they're looking around and they didn't find anything, so we never found that bat. But this one he found it relatively quick. But so I'm sitting here in the office waiting for him, and she says, Eve says to me, well, he's going to be about 30 minutes. So I'm not lying. I'm sitting here with a clipboard I have like this, like in the chair, kind of rocking with this clipboard, waiting to defend myself. And nothing music, nothing distracting. I'm just here vigilant, right?
Right. Well, you have to make sure if that bat gets in here.
And not eat my face off.
I mean, it won't probably eat your face off, but I'm sure they can get into very tiny crevices because they can get their bodies really, really flat.
And I think I have it set up. I'm not going to describe it. You don't yell at any of those. But I think I have the office set up because bats have come under the door.
Oh, absolutely. I could see that.
But I have like a little rug. I think the bat did not come.
Yeah, I can looking at it right now.
If it could, it made it much more difficult.
It'd be hard for it to get under there.
Yeah.
That's not much room at all.
Right. So I did that on purpose. That was on purpose. Yeah. So
because anybody out there listening, man, bats can smush their bodies really flat.
So our bat guy showed up, and in a half hour, almost to the minute.
Was he Batman?
Half hour? No. Yes, he gets that all the time. I refuse to do that because he's got to get that from everybody.
But it's funny.
Well, then you call him and do it.
No, but it's funny because you said my bat guy showed up. I go like Batman because Batman does save the day, so it's funny.
But I know he gets that like from everybody.
Of course he does. It's terrible.
Right. So in fact, you know what? Well, no, I was going to do it once a month, but the next show, if I remember, the next show I post on our Patreon of the old shows, I'll tell the bat story from the original bat story when. Oh man, it was when Eve and Julia went to Scotland. Julia was still in high school, and I was here by myself. Yeah,
it was a great story.
And we had the cat we had Bella, who was literally 3-4 days away from dying. It's like she was like on her deathbed, but when the bat was in the house, she like this last burst of energy to fucking
like, oh man.
And she's got like one tooth and no claws, and like, what the fuck are you gonna do, cat?
But she was it still got her like instinct.
Yeah.
Her instinct was like, yeah, let me fuck with that.
Yeah.
Oh, my dog. I was watching Elf because I watch Elf.
The TV show,
the movie.
Oh, EL. Oh, I'm thinking
Elf.
ALF.
No. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Elf. Elf. ELF.
Yeah.
The Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah. Yep.
I watch it every year while I wrap gifts. So this year I was doing that. I did that today. So there's a part in it where there's like raccoons, and Rosie was looking right at the screen and was super excited about the raccoons in the movie. She had her ears perked up like, I'm gonna fuck with that raccoon.
Well, yeah, didn't you said this a while back that your dog is a pit bull who like loves people but like really gets pissed at animals.
Yeah, she's she's food aggressive and she's animal aggressive. Well, yeah. She is. But yeah, people fucking loves people. All the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like she doesn't seem to care about which people you are, doesn't care what color your skin are, doesn't care which sex you appear to be, doesn't care. She doesn't seem to care about age. I've seen her around little kids and old people. She's great. She just doesn't like animals.
Well, at least we have bats. She probably doesn't like bats then. So we have that in common.
She probably does not like bats, but since we've had her, we haven't had any bats. And I'm just gonna...
So Batman, I'll say this for you. Batman came and he found the bat and he put it in his little bat container and he took it out and he said, and he does
Where
this
do
to
they
me.
release the bats?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
They do release them though.
I
mean, if
assume.
they're putting in the bat container, that means they release them.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just want to make sure.
Dude,
You don't even care.
No. As long as it's not in here. As long as it doesn't release it in my living room, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're not stupid. You know that they're important to the ecosystem and you know that there have been issues. There have been problems
I have
with bats.
never, ever said
Yeah.
I want all bats to be gone. I just don't want them in my house.
Right. So I'm just hoping that the bat was healthy. I'm hoping the bat was released somewhere into the world. To
Yeah, he see the Batman didn't, he was like, oh, it's cool, I found him and he seems fine and and he didn't.
I got him in my little bat cage.
Next time I'll ask. I didn't trust me really. So he came.
And
up,
I'm not even, and I don't even think I'm like being super judgy. I just was curious. I guess I'm kind of curious. Like I would be mad if somebody was just like, well, I'm just gonna go kill it somewhere. But why would you do that? It seems so weird. Why would you go through all the effort of catching it live?
The first ever bat I had in an apartment I was in over when I used to live on Park Avenue. Mm-hmm. Oh, in the house next door to the one you and Jerry lived in when I was there.
Oh, okay.
When a bat came in. That was my first encounter with a bat. Mm-hmm. And the guy I ended up calling, he killed him. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know anything about bats. I wasn't like Green Man then.
Yeah, you didn't know.
I didn't really know.
You didn't know.
I just needed it out.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes bats are ill, and if it's an ill bat, if they catch it and they can tell if it's got like they have
this guy didn't seem to. My bat guy now
seems
would
like he's
know.
like a dude.
He knows. Well, it's
like
just he literally has a thing. I don't know who the fuck. I don't remember. This was like 20, 30 years ago when the original, and since then I guess word got out that I hate bats, and now bats come to me. Like I'm their fuck.
So
I'm
the guy,
whisperer.
so the new guy, that's like what he does. He takes care. Like that's his main job is taking care of bats. Because if it is, if that's even a big part of his job,
but
he probably cares enough about the animals to make sure if they look healthy to release them.
And look, our house, quote, I'll put quotes on this, is bat proof, but we will be getting another one. I know. It's just it's going to happen. At least I
don't know. I just feel like they're very smart. They're smart little animals.
So
they know how to get into shit.
Yeah. So next time he's here, I will.
And I think they also come back. I think they kind of know their places. I mean, that's why people have bat houses. Like, I want to get a bat house for our house. We've only had one bat, but and I've mentioned it to Dan. Let's get a bat house. Now they're inviting us over. I'm like, but they'll have a bat house to live in.
I thought that through because I thought about that too, and but just because they have the bat house, they'll be there during the day, but they're still going out at night, and I think that's when they would end up coming into it. I think I don't think that's gonna. I think that's just gonna bring more bats around my house, even if they don't come in here.
That's what Dan says. He's like, no, to bring more.
So
then again, part of me. Well, here's the thing: if there was a way to guarantee that they would never ever come into the house, I would totally want the bat house, and I would totally be outside watching the bats going into the bat house and being excited.
I have a solution.
Yeah.
So pick. And I'll do the same thing on my street. Mm-hmm. Pick the neighbor on your street who's the biggest douche, and don't tell them when they're gone. Put a bat house in the back of the garage, so the bats will go into their house.
The biggest douche is a business owner, though.
So
the actual
I know the bar.
Yeah. Because
So-
everybody else on the street, anybody I've met on the street has been very nice.
That's actually true here. But I mean, whatever. No, totally. Then that's just wait till it's closed, like some Sunday or holiday, and then put a bat house on the back of the fucking thing, and don't even say anything.
Then I can watch the bats over there.
You must. Not me. I don't want to see them.
See, I like watching them. I think they're fascinating.
In theory, I will read about them. I don't need to see them.
Well, I did find out. So I knew about so I have a friend on Facebook who I grew up with in Livonia. My friend Kate. Kate and I both really like bats. We both have an affinity for them. And there is a place in New Zealand that's a bat sanctuary specifically for flying foxes, which are the cutest of the bats because they literally look like foxes.
For fuck's sake.
They have foxes. They have fox faces. They're fruit bats, and they have fox faces.
I don't
They're
need flying foxes. Just
so fucking
everybody
cute.
needs to chill the fuck out. What the fuck?
Anyhow,
just that's so extra.
They're pollinators. They're
I don't
important.
Give a shit. Do
They're
they have
important.
to fly then?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's how they pollinate. Because they fly.
I just want to be left alone.
So anywho, but then we found out that there is a place in Texas that also has a bat sanctuary, and this is so cute. They have bats there. I found out about this. Is like the cutest video I saw. There's gonna be somebody else that listens to this show and they'll think that bats are cute too. They have geriatric bats. Like literally, like they are old bats, and they still and they can't fly anymore because they're old. They cannot actually go into flight.
Do they
anymore.
have like little bat walkers?
What they do is the people who work there, they're volunteers or whatever. They hold them up and so they can flap their wings and stuff like they're flying, but they can't actually fly. So it makes them do the thing, though they can't fly, because if they tried to fly, they would get hurt. I'm sorry, but that is about the sweetest fucking thing ever.
Okay, so
and they're very affectionate. They actually really do they actually respond to humans.
Okay, I'm sure, because these geriatric bats would gum my face off. I'm telling you.
No, they won't.
Okay.
They eat.
You can't convince.
They eat fruit.
They gnaw on babies and they will gum my face off.
These are fruit bats. Most bats are. The majority of the bats you see around here are fruit bats.
Okay.
They're pollinators or fruit bats. We get like brown bats around here. They don't eat people.
We've talked about this. I understand intellectually. Okay, but my nervous system does not function that way.
Do you feel this way about rodents in general, or just the fact that these are flying rodents?
No, I'm not very fond of rodents either.
You're not? Okay, because I like mice and rats and stuff. I think they're all cute.
Yeah.
Oh my god, there was a rat, or not a rat, a mouse on my porch once. It was literally sitting up like cute.
No.
Oh, it was so cute.
Don't want them dead. I don't want them here. Okay, I just need to be
right.
Just please just leave me alone. That's all I'm asking. And no harm, no foul. I mean, we can coexist, just not in my house.
Not my house.
That's all I'm asking.
Well, I can see. Well,
Same
also
with the
like
fucking octopi and shit. Just don't come in my fucking house, man.
Well, that you're probably safe.
Well, if I ever get an octopus in my house, I'm just calling Magnus then. Fuck this. Tell him too. Tell him. He's my octopus guy. I love
that this whole conversation about rats, about bats and rats, and all those things started because we talked about Magnus and the octopus.
All right, so I kind of went off. I'm taking a hard turn here because I started going down this road, and then again, as we do,
we do what we do.
Yeah. So, if you still need, if you're listening to this while it's still warm and fresh, and you still need to buy gifts, and we've decided we're doing this on purpose, not just because it's last minute. There are places at stuartbordasco.com that are amazing companies that we've checked out, and not like, so if you want to get somebody a gift card that's like email gift card, like someone, across the country kind of thing, go to stuartbordasco.com. We're going to be getting some folks they don't listen. E-gift cards for Powell's Books.
That'd be my number one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple other bookstores on there. There's a place that does like organic-y type clothes. If you're into beer, there's Beer Drop, which is awesome. Now that I'm hired again, maybe I'll start my Beer Drop again. Now that I have a job, and and so there's some really neat places, and you should totally check them out because we do that. Well, one, if we get any money off of it, it just goes to pay for all the stuff to put the show out and the radio station. But really, because we like, again, we're anti-capitalist but not anti-commerce, so yes, people should make things and sell things and that sort of stuff.
People should buy used books whenever possible. I shouldn't say that because sometimes it's good to support an author when they're first coming out.
Well, or even like I made sure when I bought those copies of The End of Policing from Alex Vitale, who you should go check out our old podcast with that. I made sure to buy him new, so it helped Alex out.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at it the way it works best. But if it's like, if it's like classics and stuff, that person's not even alive anymore, buy it used.
Oh yeah, no question. Absolutely. I feel the same way about music too. I mean, even if like the rights still go to like heirs and stuff, I'm like, well, fuck it, they're dead, man. I mean, that's fine if someone's kid's getting residuals from shit. That's fine. I'm not saying don't do that, but it doesn't mean I'm buying used. Fuck you. So anyway, so by all means, if you're still looking, you got to do some gifts, you want to do some stuff, or if you're just looking to buy something for yourself. And if that certain somebody is somebody you feel comfortable buying something in the sexy nature, we got a ton of stuff there too. I got my sister for her birthday. We got her a gift certificate at Emby for sex toys. She was very happy with it.
I bet she was.
She was. And so she sent me meat.
That's funny.
Not that kind of meat.
I know, but it's funny because we both went there anyway for a moment.
Speaking of meat, look at this. Oh my God. Speaking of meat.
Oh, I was going to say something else really quick.
Oh yeah, go for it then.
Okay, but we'll go back to meat.
Yeah, sure, if you want.
We'll go back to meat. I also wanted to say, because I posted this on Facebook today, but wherever you live in the world, if you need a last minute gift, and you're trying to buy for somebody who has everything, because we all have that person like, oh my God, they have everything. Buy art. Buy original art. Find an artist. Do you know any artists? Buy some original art, because that is going to be something that somebody doesn't have. If you live locally, if you don't know anybody, you can go to the store at the Mag and you can buy. There's tons of local art.
If you're in Rochester, New York.
If you're in Rochester, but I'm just saying, I wanted to put that out there because I have a lot of artist friends and stuff out there, and a lot of them have Etsy accounts, and a lot of them, wherever you are, there's people out there who sell art.
So,
that's all.
Okay, I like the idea, and I totally get the sentiment, but okay, now we're going to bring some of my issues into this, and this isn't about bats. So, yes, that's a great idea, but really make sure you know what the person would like.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about local art. Art can be a cool necklace. It could be a handmade candle. Art could be anything. It's just saying, I guess, local gifts. But if it's if it's art, then you know for a fact that nobody else is going to have that. They're not going to have it, and nobody else is going to have it either.
Well, I'm sorry for the pause there. I'm just, but it's,
I know what you're saying, and I don't disagree with you, but I'm just saying that that's something you can do.
Like if someone were to get me a piece of art that is like art, traditional type art, sculpture-y, on the wall, whatever it is, and it's just not really something I'm down with, then I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to put this somewhere?
Right, but I mean, you wouldn't well, I mean, I would hope most people would know better. Like, if you don't know the person's taste at all, then don't do that.
Not in my
But
family.
if you know, but if you know somebody's taste and you know that they have everything, because you know them, they have everything. You can go, all right. They don't have this art.
I'm jotting down a note. I'm going to check something later.
Okay.
Not going to say what it is.
All right.
Because just in case it's stupid, I don't want to look any more stupid than I already am. But so
That was all I had to say.
no, that's totally legit. We've always said, in terms of buying local and,
yeah.
and all that kind of shit. Without
But it
question.
really made me think, but it did make me think about it earlier today. I was just like, I don't know, thinking about things like you do. I was like,
Because you know what that makes me think of? I know, okay, but my brain doesn't quite work like everyone else's.
mine does, but okay.
Okay, so the year after I graduated high school, okay, a job I had before I started college was working at this summer camp.
I remember you worked there. I remember you
Right.
talking about that.
So one of the things the counselors did to just, something to do with something, it had nothing to do with the kids there. And it was a camp. The camp still exists for kids with disabilities, and this is before I knew I was going to be a teacher. This is before I knew anything about my interactions with the disability community. It just
happened.
kind of happened, yeah. So actually, someone at my school thought it'd be a good idea and said, "Hey, Dave, there's this opportunity. If you need a job this summer, you should do this." And so he got me this gig. So anyway, we would have, like Secret Santas, and we used to call it Secret Bunny. You said it because it wasn't winter; it was obviously in the summer. And my Secret Bunny, and we'd have a different. We do it like almost every kids would come for like a week or 2 weeks at a time, and so each time the kids would switch, we would have new secret bunnies. Right, we would switch, and one of the times,
fun.
yeah, totally. Oh, dude, a story for another time. I can't look at a fucking furnace filter without laughing. Just don't even ask.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you later. It's not that funny,
Okay.
but it's a weird thing. Actually, my wife knows this and will just on purpose say something about the furnace filter knowing I'm going to laugh and I can't control it.
Right.
Yeah. It's again. Yeah.
All right.
So one time for my Secret Bunny, it happened to be my summer romance person, the person I was dating at the camp that summer. Yeah.
Like you have.
And did a really good job of like subterfuge. So I was trying to figure out who the person was. And then usually at the end, after the kids are gone, you find out who your Secret Bunny is. Right. And there was a place there in the camp where you would leave your little things. And it was like, it'd be candy.
Like a tree.
Like that.
Almost like the tree.
Yeah. So.
Oh, look at the tray. Okay.
So my Secret Bunny, who was I'll say girlfriend on air quotes, my summer
Your summer girlfriend, yep.
at the time, got me the ugliest, and this is before it was popular for a month and a half, the ugliest trucker hat that said Dave on it. It was so bad. And I had to act like it was awesome.
Oh my God.
It was so bad.
I wish you had it now.
No.
Oh my God. You know who'd wear it? Alex. My son would
Yeah,
wear
but it says Dave on it.
That's why he would wear it.
Oh,
'cause
okay.
It says Dave.
Somewhere I might have a different hat. I'll dig it up and show you. It's a long story. I have a similar style. No, it doesn't say Dave on it. There's a different thing on it.
Whatever.
It's connected to cheese, actually.
Dave.
Not the food cheese, the person cheese.
I assume you meant the person cheese.
I'm telling for people on the show. So
We have a friend named Cheese.
We do. So, yeah. When you say get somebody art, I always think about that when you get somebody something, and you're just like, oh, thank you.
When your gifts for your what do you call it? Your wedding gifts for years was a piece of art.
Okay, if you want to call it that, sure.
I mean, that was like a joke, though, wasn't
Yeah.
it? But people wanted it, though.
Yeah. All right. I'll. Yeah. Oh man, that's taking a lot of time. No, we're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
So, speaking of high school, a friend of mine was getting married, and I just thought I would actually the one I wanted a velvet painting of the Last Supper. Because they don't do this anymore, but back in the day, either at gas stations that would be on the corner, like usually on Sundays or on weekends, there'd be people in the parking lots there on the corners that would sell
I remember those
crazy looking statues and velvet paintings of stuff.
Elvis was another one.
Elvis was, Elvis, yeah. And so I wanted a velvet painting of the Last
Leopards.
Supper. Right.
Yeah.
And I was going to, obviously, of course, with a card, and I'd give money. But, you know.
Right. It's like funny. It was like, I'm giving you, like, this is a joke.
But here's money. Here's some money.
Yeah.
So I didn't find that. And instead I found, I think for the first one ever, it was a statue of almost, now that I think about it, and this hadn't even been invented yet, it almost looked like Shrek, but it was a green Buddha. and then again, there was a check.
It was a terrible tchotchke, and you needed this.
And so, and that just turned into a thing. And so and it was in the, you know, early to mid into late 20s and stuff, you know, when all your friends tend to get married and you get invited to all these weddings. And so it turned into this thing, and there were actually people who were like asking, you know, are you going to get me like a statue or a lamp? It turned into an ugly lamp is what the thing turned into. And so I would like scout out places in town where I know I could go to get ugly lamps. And
there was that one place on West Ave I remember for a long time.
I had Lyle Avenue.
Oh, there was one on West Avenue that was there for quite a while.
I hadn't gone to that one. I had two different places on Lyle Avenue that were my main places to go, and I never found a good velvet painting to give to anyone, but it ended up turning out into like lamps, and it just turned into a thing that was. And then when the lamp supply dried up, and then I had people I was playing baseball with, and they were getting married, and we were getting invited to weddings for that. Then it turned into here's a big shock. It turned into more sex toy oriented things, and it wasn't like the blatant stuff, not like a big ass dildo, but like there was like the honeymoon kit, and it was cheesy as hell, and there was nothing in there that would hold up to any real kind of action. But you know, funny feathers and maybe some lube and like fake handcuffs, but it'd be in a tin that would say the honeymoon kit. And,
it was really cheesy. And
it was cheesy.
And then with that with a check or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
Cash.
And there's that wasn't like, here, this is it. Here's bad sex toys. You go to town.
Go to have a fun time.
And so especially with the baseball guys, they would always have to explain to their soon-to-be wives, like, look, this is what Dave's going to do, okay? Just, it's coming, all right?
Just
no pun intended. Yeah, sorry. So it turned into a thing, and it's been a long time. I don't know if I haven't gone to a wedding, and that's not true. I did, but it wasn't friends of mine. It was people connected to
so it wasn't somebody you couldn't...
Right.
You couldn't give them the goofy gift.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like friends of mine. All my peeps are like, you know, we're old. I don't have young.
Right, and I did get married, but nobody was invited to it, so.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there were some people there. But,
no, I understand.
Yeah.
So, I totally don't remember how we got onto that, but so that's, yeah. So if there's anybody out there who wants me to come to their wedding, I will totally get you an ugly ass lamp. Or a velvet painting if I can find it, or actually, if you really want, I don't know if I'm willing to go to prison for this, but there is a velvet painting I know that exists that I could maybe steal and use it as a wedding present.
Oh yeah, at the where? At the jail?
No, it's City Hall.
Oh yeah.
We have this bizarre. Okay, so I'm sure every municipality has this everywhere, maybe around the world. That whoever is the grand poobah of this government agency, whether it's a city or a state, a governor, a president, a dictator, El Capitan, whatever you're calling it, you have your official portrait done, you know, picture, painting, right? So at the Rochester City Hall, on the walls, they have, like, going back a million years, like all of the mayors of Rochester, and they have their paintings. And there's one mayor who, I swear to God, it looks like a velvet painting. And it's in our lifetimes. If I tell you the name, I'll say the name. I don't give a shit, but you'll know who this person is. But if you go to City Hall and you look at these paintings, you'll look at you look at Bill Johnson's.
Is it Bill Johnson?
Yeah, and you'll go like, is that a fucking velvet painting? Why would he accept this? Why would he go, yeah, that's the painting I want? It looks like a velvet painting. It looks like something
maybe he wasn't maybe Bill Johnson's not he's still alive, right?
Oh yeah,
okay.
I just saw him at just saw him in a parking lot last week.
Oh really? You just happened to run into him in the parking lot. Well, I did see our current mayor once in Parkley, and I said, it was actually last Christmas time I saw him. He was in there shopping, and I said, Merry Christmas, Mayor, and he goes, and he had his mask on, so he's like, oh, thank you. Is it obvious it's me? I'm like, if anybody doesn't,
I think you're gonna know who Malik Evans is.
Yeah, it's like if anybody doesn't, it's like he's kind of it's him.
You know it's him. This isn't in a good or bad way. It's just it's him.
He is tall. He's very tall.
He's tall, but like the shape of his head is
everything
pretty.
About
everything about him is even with the mask on for COVID.
I could totally tell it was the mayor.
I think that's me too, with like hair or my red hair with lack of.
You're right. Honestly, you too. Yeah. I would recognize you as well. Just some people look unique enough that you would know it's them. So yeah, even with his mask on, I totally could tell it was our mayor, and I said Merry Christmas to him. Hey, speaking of famous people, I know. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. There was a famous person in Parkley. Oh my God! Into my current employer. This week, and that was kind of exciting.
Please tell us.
Yes, Sunday. Oh, I need another beverage. Would you bring me one so I don't have to?
Yes, I will totally. Go ahead.
Thank you. So, so at the MAG,
What's the MAG?
The Memorial Art Gallery in Rochester, New York, where I work at the gallery store, which sells. We sell artwork and locally made art. A lot of Rochester, but we also expand out to.
You guys should have like local Pez dispensers. Sorry,
that's actually a really great idea. We should write that down. Write it down. Don't forget to write it down because I think it's something to tell Magnus.
All right, go ahead. Continue.
Okay, so in the store, one of the people who
I'm sorry, you got my brain moving.
I know, right?
Sorry.
Okay, so one of the people who is who does shop at where I work is internationally known Garth Fagan. If anybody doesn't know that name, you should probably Google it. But the probably most well known
dog pilot.
Most well known is he is the choreographer for the Broadway hit Lion King. He is a Tony Award winning.
He's all about the dance.
He is a dancer.
He's the dance.
His dancing is very innovative. It's like nothing else. Anybody who doesn't know anything about Garth Fagan, it was originally called the Garth Fagan Bucket Dancers, and I think they dropped Bucket at some point. But
can I give you my connection to Garth Fagan?
Yeah, sure.
When I was a fifth grader, and I think GLB was this was GLB. We were in the same class. We did like a class or two with the Garth Fagan Bucket Dancers. I don't think he was there, but his dancers were.
His dancers were there.
And this was 1,050,000 years ago, so I don't think Garth's doing too much dancing on his own.
Oh, no.
No.
He is a senior citizen, older man who's he is not in the...
Unless he's like a bat and they have people holding up his wings kind of thing.
So
see how I brought it around?
Yeah, I see how you brought that around. So anyway, if you all don't know who Garth Fagan is, you should. He's a local. He is a celebrity. He is internationally known in the Broadway and dancing circles, but locally, he is definitely a huge celebrity. And so anyway, but he is a shopper. He does shop at the MAG, and he came in and on Sunday, and I saw him, and I immediately, of course, came over to him and said hello to him, and greeted him and asked him if there was anything I can help him with, because he is getting up there in age. Mm-hmm. And want to be a good. Well, I mean, it's not just because he is, but I mean, obviously, I do know who he is, and I'm going to take very extra good care of him. So, anywho, he told me that one of his friends he bought some artwork there. A friend of his was coming in to show me the artwork because he had some questions about it. And so it turns out the person he was having come in is actually a friend of mine. And so that was kind of cool. So we all got to chatting and it was lovely. So anyway, everybody's talking, lovely chat. My friend, who is also a dancer, also is a Garth Fagan dancer, and I were just chatting about, just family, kids, the things. He was asking me about my son and what my son's been up to. And I'm really proud of my kid. My kid has been doing a lot, promoting at the space, the space on Exchange Street, where his dad basically rents a space there. They're doing a bunch of shows there. They've been doing a bunch of cool shit there. So anyway, that's what my son's doing. So anyway, I was telling my friend what my son's doing, like you do.
Is he the Don King of Rochester promoter?
No, he's definitely not. But he's trying his best to do cool things, and I'm really proud of him.
Cool.
So anyway, while I'm standing there, so I'm telling my friend this while Garth is also standing there. And then Garth looks at me and he goes, "So your son is 22. I said, "Yep, he's 22. And because, of course, he heard me say that. And he goes, "Okay, so make sure you tell him. Does he know how to use a condom?"
Okay, that's right.
I thought that was the funniest fucking thing. Garth is probably he's probably around 80. And he's telling me to make sure that my son...
Well, maybe he's made it his mission. He's decided he's going on to...
Well, I told him, I said, Garth, I go, thank you. I think he does know about that. I said, but I will make sure I say something to you. To him,
okay,
and tell him that Garth Fagan.
No, you have to just say Garth Fagan said you have to use a condom.
I know. I'm totally going to tell him.
How you have to do it.
I'm going to tell him that. But I told Garth, I said, "Well, I will make sure I tell my son that you said so." He goes, "Oh no, you have." It comes from his mother. His mother's word is so important. I said, "Well, y'all, you know how kids are." They're going to listen to somebody else over their mom. But I just thought it was hilarious.
The show always happens at the end.
I just thought it was funny that that Tony Award winning, awesome choreographer, black superhero, Garth Fagan is giving me reproductive advice for my son.
Award-winning actress Helen Mirren says, "Don't forget the lube."
I know, right? I mean, it was
actually, I could see that happening. Actually, she's pretty
anyway.
saucy.
I think Garth's a really sweet guy, and he's very generous. He is so super sweet and super generous.
Okay, that actually fits in with the upcoming bit that we're going to be doing.
Does it?
You read it? Didn't you read it last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember now though.
Oh,
I think I was drunk.
Well, yeah. If you're in here,
know,
it's kind of.
Were you on the show? Then yeah, you were.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Well, now we have a name for the show.
Oh, good.
Garth Fagan says use a condom. Think of the search results. I just want to find out what Garth Fagan's up to. What? Internationally known choreographer says use a condom. Film at 11.
Yeah. Actually, he is Dr. Garth Fagan.
Okay.
I found out.
Maybe he's a gynecologist.
Yeah, I'm sure. I don't think so.
What? He's got to have a lot of symptoms.
I don't know. I just noticed that he is actually
doctor of death. Doctor of the death.
I mean, you probably can get your doctorate and stuff like that. I bet you can.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, of course you can. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
you absolutely can. So we're close out of time. There's one more thing I wanted to let you know about. So at the January 1st, the Stuart Badasso show is going to be leaving Twitter. Just made that decision. Doesn't matter if Pacey Boy steps down as CEO.
He's ruined it.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. I mean, there were issues with it anyway. Like a lot of the rich people, anything owned by rich people, you know, which most popular shit is owned by rich people.
So much sucks.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely, without question. Yeah. So, but yeah, we're gonna get off Twitter, and there's a million. Well, not a million, but we are exploring even more. And I'm hoping there's one that we haven't been approved for yet. But as soon as we do, I want to get one of the creators of this new social media platform that really focuses on women creators and LGBTQ plus creators.
Ooh, we love that.
Yeah, but they're not fully. They're kind of in beta right now, and I'm waiting for us to get approved. And once we do, I'm hoping to have somebody from that on the show, as well as some other folks. Trying to get Josh Gondelman, a comedian, on the show. I have a feeler. I don't know if he's ever going to respond or not, but he might be too big for us. But just trying. He would be fun to have on the show.
I don't know why Henry Rollins has never reached out to us. It just bothers me.
I haven't to him. But if you want me to reach out, but if we have Henry Rollins on the show, you're going to have to do the main interviewing. I don't fucking know this guy. I don't know any of his shit. I know he's a guy. I know he does spoken word. He was in, what was he? He was in, what was the band he was in? I can't remember the band.
Flag.
Black Flag, thank you.
And Henry Rollins band.
Well, and, yeah, I don't know any of his music. I don't know anything. I just know who he is. You know, does that make sense?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I have a huge crush on him.
Well, yeah, that too, but I knew that, but because we've talked about that forever. But if we ever were to get Henry Rollins on, you're driving that ship, buddy. So,
I am.
Okay. I'm writing it down. It's going to happen then. Well, no, I'm going to ask.
That would be the funniest thing if it really happened.
Okay, but seriously, though, if somehow...
If by some sort of magical thing he wants to be on the show, that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
But you're not going to do the Chris Farley thing. Remember that time you did that? That was awesome.
Well, I'm going to do that as a joke, and then I'm going to act like a cool person.
Okay, but he'll hang up.
Dude, you know me. I will be so nervous. I will be so prepared for that.
Okay.
I will have a list of notes. I will have a list of shit to ask him.
Okay. All right. That's good.
Oh, I'd be a super pro. You know how we don't really prepare for anything? Yeah, that one I'd be prepared for.
Okay. That's fair. So anyway, leaving Twitter, we're on, and I think we mentioned this last week. I'm back on Pillow Fort, which I know you laugh when we do that. Back on Pillow Fort.
Because it's funny.
And this weird Indonesian platform that's been around for like 20 years that nobody here in the U.S. knows about, Plurk. Or in Plurk.
Oh, yeah, I heard about it.
Yeah.
Well, I heard about it because of you.
Right. So we're adding different platforms and trying to get to places where hopefully not the super rich own, and that's, I think, the direction. It's not like Facebook and Twitter was making us super famous anyway.
No.
So I would love, and the only reason I'm not, me personally, as well as Stuart, are still on Facebook is just because of some of the local activism shit I do. I kind of need to still have an account. So me and Stuart are still on Facebook, but man, I would fucking cut Zuck off in a heartbeat if I wasn't doing this shit.
I would if I could, but right now there isn't another option that's as big.
I don't need it to be big. Couldn't care less.
Well,
for me personally, I'm just being honest.
Not you personally, but the show.
So check out some of the links at stuartbordasco.com. Some of the social media platforms we're on, and maybe you might want to start hanging out there and to replace. I'm not even saying to add on. We spend too much time online anyway as a whole, but I mean, maybe get rid of the toxic ones. Maybe get rid of Facebook and Twitter and start checking out, maybe not Plurk. Go ahead. Go to Plurk if you want. Pillow Fort. We're going to try to get to lips.social. That's the one I was just talking about. And we are on Patreon. And yes, our shows for now anyway are getting posted on YouTube now. Just to see what happens if anything. And I know it's part of Google, which is also evil.
I'm joking. What would we put on Pinterest?
Well, right, and that's kind of where Instagram's a little tough too. Really, most of our Instagram is just random, like now I'm going to have pictures of Garth Fagan that I take off the internet and then slap up our notes on there and put on Instagram. That's kind of what I do every week. I can't do too much original stuff because we're back to how I got fired from a job.
Right.
Because, so that's why I thought about maybe doing this thing live on like Twitch. Like,
Right.
But now I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm trying to keep it just, hey, I'm just Dave, not
Dave with the face.
Dave with the face, Dave with the teacher face kind of thing. Right? So
Maybe we could do the show and wear masks on our eyes. So not on our face, not on this part, but just on this part.
who would watch?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I know we'd have to be like naked or something, and I'm not doing that. That'd be weird. But people would probably watch it because they'd probably think it was hilarious.
Well, you don't have to be totally naked. Would you be like kind of like hanging out? Would you show the cleavage?
Oh, I would. I mean, I almost can't help that. To some degree.
Well, no. Okay,
well,
now
not today,
we're
I'm
about
not,
to get like the T-shirt you're wearing now.
today
Doesn't
there's
show
no
me too.
cleavage
There's
today.
no cleavage for me either. I mean, who would?
Cleavage.
Right.
I'd wear the cleavage.
Would you?
I'd wear the cleavage.
Remember the show we did with? Okay, now I totally forgot about this as I was taking the shows down. So I had to download them one at a time. And the 2-part show we did at that art show over by the Park Market.
Yeah.
And you were totally hanging out. if
I
know what I'm
was.
saying. And that was our picture. And I asked us, do you mind if I make this the picture for our
I
show?
know, I
And you
remember
didn't
that.
care. And so as I'm going to the show, I'm like, oh my God, those are Melissa's boobs. Holy shit.
Her boobs are there.
And I think that was the name of one of the shows. It's something about Melissa's boobs, I think.
Probably was.
Yeah.
I mean, we would talk about your junk all the time, so why the fuck not, I guess.
Even when I didn't want to, it just for like half a year, for like 6 months, every time, and it just always went back to my junk. The fuck? It did.
I can't wait till some of these shows come back up.
Yeah. So
And some of the ones from those days were the best.
so the if you become a $1 a month or more if you want, a $1 a month sponsor of us on Patreon, we're starting to post, like once a month, I think, some of our old shows that we had to take down because me getting fired. But yeah, the first one up is the show that got me fired. And then we'll go back in time. We'll do one of the older ones, either your boobs or, although sonically, and I'm not gonna get it didn't sound great because we were in this fucking cavern
But it was such
of a
weird,
studio.
It was such a weird, and then it was weird, extra weird for me because that was during my during my years of having really bad insomnia. And I didn't sleep for like 2 days in a row
I didn't know that.
at that show. Oh, I did tell you. I've just
you?
forgotten at this point.
Well, we were also drunk too. But.
Yeah, but yeah. Oh, I wasn't really. I don't think I was that drunk. I think I was, or maybe I was. I don't even remember now. Maybe, but yeah, back then. Oh yeah, that's when I wasn't. I was insomnia.
So look, we threw a lot of stuff at you. Just go to stuartbonessa.com. Look around, man. There's a lot of stuff there. You can go play around with, whether it's the places we're affiliated with. There's links to things. There's just some weird ass links that have been on the internet forever. I mean, just go there and check it out. Even though most of our shows are off there now, but there's still some.
But it's just a fun time.
Yeah, it is. There's some really cool. There's
Band names.
That's where I was gonna go. The list of band names you can steal for your band because your band name sucks. You should take one of ours, and like Nipular.
That's a good one.
I don't know. That's the one that popped in my head. All right, we'll be back next week.
Yep.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Bye.
Ciao.
The street is no place to learn about pleasure. That's why Babeland is proud to present My First Vibrator. You learned to cook on an Easy Bake Oven. You built your first house with Legos. Remember what you used for your first climax. Get Becky My First Vibrator from Babeland. My First Vibrator is a low-powered, multi-speed toy that comes in a number of popular designs, including Hello Kitty, SpongeBob, and Transformers.
It tickles.
It does tickle, Becky, and My First Vibrator comes with our own glitter lube.
Cool.
The streets is where Becky should get her first tattoo, not her first orgasm. So go to babeland.com and get Becky My First Vibrator. It comes with batteries.
I do too.